Shh. Start.
My book, Killing Mr. Griffin, is about 5 students who kidnapped their strict English teacher. They didn't mean to kill him. How were they supposed to know he had heart problems? How were they supposed to know that his heart would swell up and cut off his oxygen? They didn't. Susan, one of the students, is faced with the choice of either telling their story or lying until everyone forgets about it. The book changes points of view, which gives you a chance to hear about Mark, Sue, David, Jeff, and Betsy from each of their points of view. Mark is a troubled kid. He and his father had many problems before his father died. And once his father died, his mother had a mental breakdown. Now Mark lives with his aunt and uncle. David's father left his mother and him when he was very young. Now he lives with his father's mother and his own mother. The rest of the kids live normal lives. Sue lives with 3 brothers and parents. Betsy is an only child living with her both parents. Jeff is an only child and is Mark's best friend and Betsy's boyfriend. You may think this book only has 1 murder, but it actually has 2 murders and 1 attempted. When Mark finds out David's grandmother has evidence of the kid's involvement in killing Mr. Griffin's murder, he kills her. After Mr. Griffin's body is found, Sue cannot resist the urge to tell the police. This forces Mark to turn on her, tying her up and nearly burning the house down on her. As Mark is trying to escape, he walks right into the detective's arms. As Sue is rescued, and after Sue is rescued, she must go and decide the consequences for Mark and the others. Mark is most likely to go to jail or juvenile detention center. David, Betsy, and Jeff are most likely to go to court, but are most likely to get second-degree murder. And Sue is most likely to have little consequences since she was not actually there when the murder took part and is now telling the police what happened. This is about my author. Lois Duncan is the daughter of 2 internationally known magazine photographers, Joseph and Louise Steinmetz. She grew up in Sarasota, Florida, and has a younger brother. From an early age, Lois knew she wanted to be a writer. From the age of 10, she has frequently had her writing published in magazines. Lois began teaching for the journalism department at the University of New Mexico in 1962. While teaching, she continued to write. She is the author of 48 books, which include children's picture books and adult novels, but is best known for her young adult suspense novels. Lois is married to Don Arquette, and they have 5 children. Her youngest daughter, though, Caitlin, was brutally murdered at the age of 18. Her book, Who Killed My Daughter, is the true story of her search for the truth behind her daughter's murder. Lois Duncan has been challenged for books such as Daughters of Eve and the book I read, Killing Mr. Griffin. The reason these books have been challenged is for inappropriate language and plot. Many middle school parents have objected to these books. One school, Lowell Middle School, had parents challenging Daughters of Eve and met with the school board to discuss what they should do. The board decided to put PG-13 stickers on the books. In Fairfax, Virginia, the book was taken out of the middle school classrooms. 2 parents from Silverthorne, Ron and Cheryl Bristol, questioned whether the content of Killing Mr. Griffin was appropriate for 6th grade level. They have 2 daughters, Lauren, who is 13, and Jessica, who is 14. The girls are homeschooled by their parents. When we got the book from the library for my kids to read, my wife noticed the title and looked at the back cover and decided that she should read it first. Ron Bristol said, "For older kids, high school kids, I could see it being okay. For middle school, it doesn't seem appropriate to us." My opinion on Killing Mr. Griffin being challenged is that it should not be challenged, but I can see why people are concerned about it. The reason I think the book is challenged is because the amount of deaths and amount of inappropriate language. Some people may also find the plot striking. The idea of kidnapping a teacher just because he is strict is a horrible thought. That he ends up dying, even by mistake, and the kids try to cover it up is worse. When Mark kills another person because they found evidence, that might link the kids to the crime. It is beyond horrible. Mark also tries to kill Sue for trying to contact the police. I can understand why parents would want to shield their children from these dark deeds, but I don't think people should be allowed to ban books. Someone else may want to read that book. One may want to speak against it, but taking it out of the library is going too far.